dun sa second out of three. Yeah, di ba, yung apat na period, nandun na yung the formative, the international, the national, at saka the world music period. Yeah, 4 stages of world music, reduction, para sa sonata. We have the 2 principal divisions of world music, the ritual music, and the banquet music. Under the ritual music of confusion, dances are divided into 2, the military and the civil. Example, naalala niyo yung nangyari sa Qin Dynasty?
Opo.
Sa Emperor Wang Di, pinusunod niya yung mga books, pag pinamatay yung mga scholars kasi in-advisean siya ng kanyang prime minister para masakot talaga nila yung land para sa mga yes. Tapos, pero ganun pa man, nung dumating yung Han Dynasty, si Han ruler Wuti, para sa kanya intellectual, na-revive yung idea ng court music at saka na-establish tong UFO, yung Office of Music, Governmental Office of Music, na mag-reserve kung ano yung methods of music. Tapos na-add, may additional, mamaya may additional uling barbarian instrument. Nung Han Dynasty, ito yung na-add, the crook neck relative of the Pipalo. So, bilang ito Six Dynasties, Su Dynasty, Katam, tapos yung nasa international na tayo, may naging international period kasi nagkaroon ng additional, the foreign music, the Hu, tapos yung pipa na diniscuss na natin in the previous, naging dominant during Tang times. Tapos in Tang times also, we got to learn the names of pieces, composers, including the events, the repertoire, including the choreography of the dances. Tapos nanood tayo, yung last video, maraming 100 of dancers at saka orchestra. Now, we move on to the international period. Additional lang, bago sa third period, the national at saka the world units. Since the huge and complicated art of music, establishment of the Tang period was supported by tax funds, it declined rapidly as soon as the imperial fortunes began to wane. From singing girls of the court, Chinnu rather, to tea house singing girls, Chikuan. From Confucian rites and courtly life, napunta sa demands of the public stage or the hopes of wealthy merchants. Ito yung another barbarian instrument na nadagdag during the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, the Huchi. Yeah, 2-string Mongolian fiddle. It was first noted in the theater rather than in the court. Before mag-national period, meron na silang system of music. Pero, however, out of the new Chinese society came the standard practices of a national style that are still in effect today. So, we go on to the national period. The Song Dynasty brought a new stability and prosperity to China, based primarily on military and mercantile activity. The court periodically refurbished Confucian music. Kung mapapansin nyo yung mga previous period, masyadong Confucian influence. Confucius, yung mga poetess ng Confucius. And nung time ng national, sabi dito, ang term na ginamit is refurbished. Ibig sabihin ng refurbished, nababago, binabago sa mga iba. So, Confucian music, though its main musical contributions came through new theoretical studies and indirectly through the support of huge encyclopedic and historical compilations, and the fostering of new poetry forms. Here are the important factors para sa further development of Chinese music. Ito yun, yung poetic forms. We have two forms, the Shi and the Zu. The Shi, it is chanted in such a way as to exploit the basis tone levels of the Chinese language, while the Zu also uses the tone system. It was originated in songs sung in the entertainment districts of the cities and reflected a new emphasis on urban secular music. Again, the national period, ito yung medyo may pagbabago. Confucian time dati, Confucian music, pagdating dito, medyo nagkakaroon ng pagbabago. Ito yung malaking factor sa pag-iiba, the poetry form, the Shi and the Zu. Pag tinanong ni ma'am sa exam, yung poetic forms, dalawa lang naman yun. Alalahanin yung aso.
Aso.
Okay. Diba?
Yung pala nakuha yun.
Poetic forms during the Song Dynasty.
A poetic dog.
May sagot na tayo. Ay, nako. Yeah. Ito naman, bago tayo pumunta dito, some feel that the relation of speech tones to melodic structure, parang sa atin word painting, di ba parang pag sinabi sa music, kung nakalagay sa lyrics masaya, you must sing the piece or the lyrics, that portion of the piece na masaya. That's word painting. Sa choral singing, napaka-in-demand, napaka-famous na kung ano yung sinasabi ng lyrics sa tawag ng word painting, dapat ganun yung lalabas. Kung medyo malungkot yung lyrics, broken hearted, alam ba? Dapat yung feeling, yung feel ng music is malungkot kasi broken hearted. Pero kung masaya, is somehow word painting. Dito naman, ang tawag nila, naramdaman nila na yung relation ng speech tones to melodic structure ng music is fundamental, pwedeng maging fundamental to Chinese music sa era na ito. Two kinds of drama, the southern style or the Nanchu, and the northern style, the Peichu. Nanchu, pentatonic scale, it emphasizes flute accompaniment, while the Peichu is a 7-tone scale and use the pipa, yung lute, as the accompaniment. But both of these dramas use the true poetical forms. Ito yun, yung kaninang inano natin, yung entertainment districts of the cities, yung emphasis on urban secular music. Itong both kinds of drama, yun yung ginamit dito sa YouTube. Okay. While the emphasis of this period was on vocal music, instrumental forms existed as well. For example, the pipa lute and the chin zither. Alam mo yung chin? Yung matandang nakaupo sa lamesa na
Fidel.
chin ang tawag, yung zither. Famous na China chin. Para ma-memorize na natin. Yung pipa, yung lute. Okay? From example, the pipa lute and chin zither, though used for vocal accompaniment, develop extensive solo repertoires. Here are the two basic types of instrumental solo music. We have the descriptive or impressionistic piece. The pipa is particularly famous for its battle pieces, in which the clash of armor, singing of arrows, and cries of the wounded are all depicted. Also the chin, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, tends more towards impressionistic scenes, like the drunken fisherman. Mamaya mapapanood natin ito. Doon muna tayo sa isang classic type ng instrumental solo music, the abstract piece. Best known in a kind of variation, form used also by the chin. Panoorin natin yung evening song of the drunken fisherman. dialects of instrumental music was still the court, but the moneyed merchant could also enjoy this music. This led to the Ming and Qing periods, to a kind of Borghese chamber music using the pipa, yung kaninang lute, plus newer theater instruments such as the two-string fiddles, the erhu, alala yung erhu? And guqin, the string-placked lute, sanxie, yan. And the moon guitar, yueqi, with 4 strings in double process. Theater instruments. Ito yung example lang dalawa niyan. Sanxie at yueqi. Ano yung sanxie? Ito naman yung yueqi. Okay. We go on to Chinese opera. The generic term for Chinese opera is xi-chu. A survey of its history since the fading of Yuan drama, yung kanina pinanood natin, reveals some 300 different varieties of opera, many of which survive today. Pero hindi natin mali-discuss lahat kasi sobrang dami. Most of these are small theatricals amounting to regional folk dramas. Others are urban professional theaters that use one of the many dialects of Chinese and are generally named after their location. For example, Canton, Fukien, Amoy, Shanghai, or the Peking Opera. These many operatic forms differ not only in text, but also in tone systems, accompaniment, voice quality, and musical structure. Distinctions in voice quality range from the famous high nasal falsetto or of Peking to the rather low, open-throated bone of Canton. The latter is much in the Cantonese accompaniment by a preference for soft-sounding instruments. This include the yangqin or the so-called butterfly harp. Makita natin yun, pero dito muna. The Peking opera, the Jingxi, performed in tea houses, its characters, unlike those of Western opera, are categorized by the kind of person they represent rather than by vocal range. Yan yung characteristic. The 4 main types are Sheng, or the main, Pan, female, Qing, warriors and gods, and Shao, clowns. Ito yung, yan, yung Qing, yung butterfly harp, ginagamit sa Peking opera.
Turn on na yun.
Every time I bring this room, this is my music. Hindi pa natin. Very nice siya.
Yeah. Kamukha ng chin, no? Yung chin yung Ziegler, tapos ito yung chin, butterfly. Okay. Though Chinese opera includes instrumental music for dances, pantomimes, and interludes as well as vocal recitatives, its characteristic musical styles are found in the arias. We have two general approaches to the settings of arias, the Lianchu and the Banqiang. Lianchu selects from a body of standard short pieces of a set of works that are appropriate to the moods of a given drama. The Banqiang uses stereotyped melodies rather than the complete pieces. Pasa ko naman yung PowerPoint, kaya hindi tayo okay? Nandun pa tayo sa Peking opera. Here are the two basic kinds of instrumentation. One was used for battles or military entrances and consists of a battery of gongs, cymbals, and drums. And the double ring suona. Alala yung suona. And another is used for all civil and domestic scenes and is therefore heard more often. The most common time beater is a panpu or panpiku. It consists of a skin stretched over a set of wooden wedges bound in a circle and so hollowed out that only a small part of the skin covers a cavity at the center of the drum. Malaking role ng percussion instruments sa orchestra ng especially paggamit sa opera ng Chinese music. Minsan ito yung percussive instruments, yung rhythm, yun ang nagsaset ng melody or yun yung tumututok ng melody. Parang kapalit nito, pag hindi ito yung ginagamit, meron silang ginagamit ng wooden block at saka ibang time beater. Ewan ko kung ganito rin yung itsura ng wooden block nila. This is familiar with us. Wala, ganito. Pwede rin siyang gamitin dito sa edge ng para magkaroon ng mas kulog na tunog. Okay? So, kapalit nito, in the place of this, pwede rin gamitin yung wooden block. Kasi meron pa, ewan ko, hindi ko nakita ito sa book pero isa pa itong instrument na ito na ginagamit sa orchestra. Hong Kong Chinese Orchestra po yung nakalagay. Binigay lang din sa akin.
Magician nga talaga.
Gusto ko na sa nila na po. Ang tawag dito is Hong lang. So, ewan ko paano siya ginagamit
Kaya
na
laki
tawag. Pero parang itong pambata, di ba? Ito yung mga nabibili sa pero ginagamit siya sa orchestra sa China. Okay? Tapos, yun ulit. Ginagamit din. Yung Gucci na bounce. Ito pa, iba. The po. Cymbals. Tapos the Yunlu, the numberless gongs. Yung mga ginagamit sa opera. Orchestra. Okay? Pa, yung,
Pinagsisid ka ba?
yung, pan. Skin. Tapos ito wood.
Bahan ba?
Eh,
Stop na.
stop yung attendance.
Peking opera po rin. We have the two types of melody in Peking opera. Parang na po yung kanina. Di ba rin? Ito pala yun. Mali lang ako. The CPU1 ton. The basic meter is 1 drum and 1 beat on a beater. At saka itong isa. The typo.
Loren.
HSI C
Papasa ng attendance.
indicates that it is in fast tempo. Again, two types of melody sa pecking opera. The basic meter is 1 drum and 1 beat on a beater. Actually, this is notated sa western. Ito yung erhu, ito yung ginagawa niya sa taas, tapos ito yung panhu, mali na picture. Pag homiles, mas mabilis sa tempo, yung C, P, yaw, pan. Ito example ng pecking opera.
Thousand years ago.
京剧，
京剧，
京剧。超fun.
京剧 or Peking opera is an ancient performance art with a history of 200 years. Jingju has 4 kinds of roles, according to their different identities and personalities. The lyrics of Jingju are performed by singing or rhythmic speaking, accompanied by dozens of musical instruments. Now, Jingju still enchants many Chinese people and foreigners with his unique charm. Jingju.
京剧，
Yeah. Another opera, isa na lang ito, the Kunshu opera. It evolved in the 16th century in Kiangsu province. Sophisticated opera based on an earlier form of literary drama. Based on written librettos, its tunes are slow-moving with a regular 4/4 rhythm. Principal instruments are itsu, and shao, the transverse and end long flutes. the last period, the world music period. Maiksi lang naman to kasi very brief na yung kanya explanation at saka yung details kaya babasahin ko. In 1911, the last of the Chinese dynasties fell and the republic was declared during this period. The stormy years that followed witnessed sporadic attempts at westernization that were complicated by internal strife and external pressure. Western music, which had appeared in China as early as the Ming period, still found little favor with the general public. But the Chinese elite accepted it, along with suits and automobiles, as symbols of Western culture. Western music teachers began to appear in the cities of China, and Chinese students went to the Western conservatories. Orchestras were formed, musicals were given, and talk of a synthesis of Chinese and Western music was heard. One should mention also that European musicians in turn began to search the black notes of the piano for the mysteries of Oriental music. The search for a new art was not particularly successful in either world. On the peasant level in China, however, a new tradition of unison singing arose as greater numbers of Chinese became involved in civil construction, civil wars, and the struggle against the Japanese. The subject matter of this music was topical and polemical, and at least one song has earned fame as the national anthem of modern China. Even in this case, the text was changed according to the owner of China. Since 1949, the Communist Party has held the Chinese mainland. As a result, Chinese music has been organized along the lines of Marxist, Leninist socialism. Under this concept, as explained by the Chinese Communist leader Mao Zedong, the function of the arts is to serve the whole mass of the nation's people. In China, that means 1/3 of the world's population. And to reflect the class struggle as well as the triumphs of socialism. In Chinese Western style music, this has meant the creation of commemorative pictorial pieces such as the Sacred War Symphony. wonderful choral singing of new compositions like Socialism is Good, an excerpt from Looking Forward to the Liberation of the Working People All Over the World. Excerpt lang. Last example, folk song. Choral arrangement also. Some say that Chinese music will never return to its former greatness until its theoretical philosophical base is restored. The same has been said, of course, of Western music. It seems unlikely that the loose and their cosmological significance will ever return to China, any more than the ethical power of the ancient Greek codes will ever affect the European scene again. Nevertheless, the overwhelming past and real and present of Chinese traditional music provide ample material for an appreciation of the musical genius of the Chinese people. And that's all.